Hello, it's Mustache. Invincible Versus was released with an original character on the roster. Elemental was revealed on December 11th of 2025. We knew they had permission to do original characters already at this point even, if I'm not mistaken or getting confused for statements made on that day or after. Since then, Elemental has appeared in Capes, a skybound comic series that takes place within the Invincible universe. No, I don't know what happens, but she's here. A solid part of the meta. She's now a piece of Invincible history. This begs the question, how did it come to this? Invincible is a series full of so many amazing characters. Many background characters have amazing designs and are usually my favorites, but she's voided this principle entirely by being an entirely original character. Created for this game, for the sake of making another fighting game moveset. Today's video, I've challenged myself to come up with some completely unique characters. Some original characters, OCs, that may or may not be good enough to fit the bill for an original Invincible Versus character. A character that could exist in the Invincible/Kirkman universe hypothetically, but will be made only for this game. So, let's get right into my ideas. Number 5. Jamalcano. My first idea. Heavily inspired by Elemental, of course. Meet Jamalcano. Elemental's cousin, nephew, or brother, however you want to spin it. I imagine they'd be the younger sibling in any case, though, and serve as like an Oliver to Mark. So, I'm thinking that Jamalcano would have control over the same 4 elements, but as Elemental herself also dabbles in throwing lava rocks, Jamalcano would experiment with the same powers, but with the elements being always in different states. For example, instead of any water attack, it's a blinding mist. Instead of rocks, he'll be creating and pulling pure iron steel bars out of the earth to trap the opponent, or beat them around with. Also, another one to do instead of water, ice. Element/weather control abilities are fun in fighting game movesets. There's potential for Elemental too. You could be cheeky and give him a Glacius move, straight out of Killer Instinct. For his ultimate finisher, he's going to open the volcano under the opponent's feet, submerging the opponent in lava, and then he'll cool it with icy winds, turning the opponent into a black lava rock statue, not unlike Han Solo in the Carbonite. Having him on the roster alongside Elemental having extremely similar abilities reminds me of the dynamic of the 2 chameleons in the Mortal Kombat series, where one is male and one is female. I think it may be the best excuse to bring Jamalcano to life. Number 4. Cuzko Clown. A character heavily inspired by the Spawn mythos. Cuzko Clown would serve as that sort of nasty serial killer archetype character. I imagine he'd play a bit like Scarecrow from the Injustice series, and have gas attacks, a little bomb, akin to the Joker. But enough of that. For the sake of originality, I'm going to go with my character having the gimmick of being very wide, but not too tall. As I said, he's inspired by Spawn, and specifically the characters Violator and Billy Kincaid, both whom I've seen suggestions for in this game. Maybe he'd have a sort of killer clown from outer space kind of thing going on, inflate himself up like a balloon to jump higher, and change his feet into anvils to slam back down on the opponent. Hey, now it sounds like I'm making a moveset for Big Head. For finisher, he'd teleport behind you and it'd get dark, because he'll bag the opponent in a scary brown cloth sack, and he'll wake up in the middle of Cuzco's circus. And he's going to have the most ridiculous ultimate finisher yet. The opponent will get attacked by sharks after being dropped into a pool of water, but then lions will be dropped in and attack the opponent too. Finally, that will cause the giant take to spill over, and the opponent will wash up right at Cuzco's feet, and also conveniently right on top of the strength test machine. Bam. He smashes you with a giant hammer, and laughs of course. What do you think? Number 3. Matthias, the Lost Viltrumite. The Viltrumites in Invincible have many similarities to Superman and Dragon Ball Z, But there's one thing present in both of the aforementioned stories that Invincible has no mention of whatsoever. What if a Viltrumite was more than an outcast? Another Viltrumite, somewhere out there among the stars. Somebody that they completely assumed was long gone because the planet that he was sent to conquer, he never returned from. And anybody sent to the planet would apparently meet a similar fate. Meet Matthias. He's been trapped, fighting for survival on a distant planet full of malicious alien life. Alien life with strength enough to rival a Viltrumite's. Alien life with cunning intelligence, enough to outsmart and capture new Viltrumites that are sent searching for Matthias. The gravity on the planet is much stronger than usual, so Matthias fights with the strange broods of overpowered alien life, pays off in increasing his strength tenfold. Every day he's fighting still, not giving up on his mission. Although it seems sometimes all hope is lost, Matthias never gives up, because he has big main character energy. If he had any friends, if he lived on Earth, they'd call him Matt. Invincible Versus sees this character return long after the main events of the Invincible Viltrumite War, invasion, and such have all ended, and he's unable to find his home planet Viltrum. Having suffered the greatest pains and achieved the ultimate survival by conquering the planet full of the strongest aliens in the galaxy, he now seeks revenge, for his efforts were wasted. He will seek Viltrumite allies, for his heart, even after hundreds of years stranded, still belongs to the Viltrumite Empire. Matthias seeks revenge in Invincible Versus. Number 2. Minday, daughter of Hail Mary. I'm going to walk you through this simple concept here. This is Fire Breather. This is his dad, the Kaiju King. He's a giant Kaiju monster, a Dragon Lord guy, and this takes place in the Invincible universe, at least in the comics. What if Hail Mary had a daughter? Not just a smaller version or a rage monster, well, not always a rage monster at least, but a Fire Breather-like character. Enter Minday. Minday attempts to take the lore to a place that doesn't really exist for Hail Mary, this giant kaiju monster that the GDA spawned in to face Omni-Man. First of all, let's start with her name. Minday attempts to paint Hail Mary's origin in a world of Chinese mysticism, perhaps the biggest and most fearsome dragon of all to them. In the ancient times, but really the Cthulhu tentacles imply that Hail Mary doesn't hail from this plane of existence at all. Minday is the daughter of a Chinese man, and her mother, known to us as the fearsome Hail Mary, isn't present, but instead perhaps an enemy or challenge to face along her journey, much like a gender-bent version of the dichotomy present in Fire Breather. Minday's powers are rooted in the void, the darkness that lies behind all things. The eldritch magics that she has access to are feared by her home country's people, and she is unable to have a normal childhood, constantly plagued with nightmares, and sometimes abominations emerge from the void to cause trouble and sow seeds of mayhem in the minds of innocent Chinese men and women. Minday feels it is her responsibility to protect them. Invincible Versus sees this as the character's status quo. After enough heroics, she is eventually located by the GDA, and could have potential dialogue with Omni-Man, Cecil, and Invincible, all concerning the wrongful treatment of her mother. She'll tell the GDA that it's actually an ancient god from another world, and they're making it angry. Hail Mary looms again, and Minday may be the key to keeping Earth safe. Comment your thoughts down below. Honorable mention, KT-76. Now, brace yourselves. This one's the grim dark one. KT-76 is a completely original character, whose backstory lies in the labs of the GDA and in the hands of D.A. Sinclair. Somehow, the madman he is, he found love in the form of Daphne. My character is meant to serve as their daughter, and it comes about in the most D.A. Sinclair way. When their relationship develops, or should I say, degenerates, and Daphne actually desires to raise a child and live a happy family life with Sinclair, the only way he could ever accept making a child is if he made it himself. KT-76 is a prototype Rihanna woman, and is filed as a normal project under the GDA's systems. And DA Sinclair somehow managed to work on and prepare this project entirely in secret. KT is not a mindless zombie, thanks to Sinclair's persistent tinkering, but likely runs on more machine at this point, as experiments fail and the subject degrades. In order to keep the project functioning, he got a hold of and injected her with Viltrumite DNA. Also note that one of her legs previously belonged to Adam Eve. My character's story and creation takes place much further along in the Invincible timeline than what is currently suitable for Invincible Versus. So, spoilers ahead for Invincible series, it's Eve's leg after Robot attacked her family. So my OC is also the final resting place for Eve's leg. No more spoilers. There are like 0 spoilers in all of my other videos, just so you know. Anyways, after receiving the Viltrumite DNA from blood samples from Mark, Anissa, Omni-Man, and even Conquest, Sinclair thought it was finally the right time to reveal their daughter to Daphne. But Daphne was shocked and appalled. Finally, he had taken it too far. Even further when he tells her that her own DNA is mixed up somewhere in there too. She left him in horror. Daphne's rejection of Katie actually leaves an emotional impact, and D.A. Sinclair was no shoulder to lean on. He has no capability of raising her whatsoever, but he did grant her freedom. KT-76 escaped the facility, and as her technological advancements in her brain slowly rebuilds her memories and capabilities, she realizes she has underlying fight programming from basic Reaniman training simulations, and can take on any reasonably powerful opponent with ease. Finally, gameplay-wise, in Invincible Versus, she would be privy to using some moves from Mark and other Viltrumites. She would have a powerful attack, where she's running at you just like a Reaniman that Cecil shoots out, but way more powerful, a chance to make it unstoppable. For an ultimate finisher, her creator/father, D.A. Sinclair, will teleport you to his lab, where all of his worst creations are made, and he'll cut you open with a buzzsaw. But the worst of it will conveniently take place off-screen, as his maniacal laughter is heard. The opponent will be shown just from the shoulders up, now with the mask of the Reaniman sealed in place, struggling. Number 1. Li Feng. That's with an E, but not where you think. My last original character for this video. A character hailing from a similar dynasty as Master Liu, the Chinese crime lord who's cursed to take the form of a massive magical dragon. I'm surprised he's not a character in this game already. But, basically, what if Master Liu was not the only one who received a curse? What if the curses are associated with the Chinese zodiac in some way? Presumably they could be, considering Master Liu is a dragon and all. There could actually be 12 cursed individuals, each with the power to become the animal associated with the zodiac curse they received. Most of them being from China, I would assume, and leading great families, gangster organizations, or just being powerful individuals overall. My character, Li Feng, was cursed from the same source. Thus, he has the ability to become Monkey. He's just a bit younger than Master Liu. He's certainly a great fighter, because he's been cited by the GDA as the currently most powerful human martial artist on Earth right now. His curse comes in the form of a blessing. Comparatively so, becoming a rat or a pig. You'd think the monkey wouldn't seem so powerful like them, but especially, none of them could be as powerful as the great Dragon Master Liu, right? Well, Li Feng takes the form of the golden monkey. But he's ranging at a maximum height of 17 meters tall. And as the monkey of the Chinese zodiac is meant to be, he's witty. Still, he doesn't lose control when taking this form. For his finisher, he releases the monkey. When the smoke clears up, he'll be sitting cross-legged in a golden shining meditative pose. The opponent instinctively flies away, but he can always reach them, being so tall and all. He'll then slap the opponent on the ground a few times before throwing them clear out of view over the horizon. Yes, It's meant to look as funny as it sounds. While leaning towards being a joke character, and in a way, a Dragon Ball Z parody character, it was still taken seriously by the game. And his jokiness is explained by him apparently being the least fortunate out of the 10 other hypothetical individuals cursed by the Chinese zodiac curse. Can his martial arts capabilities and giant golden monkey form challenge even a Viltrumite's power? The only way to find out is if you get him into Invincible Versus. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this little project of mine. As you can tell, I've warmed up to the idea of Elemental. Adding another character to Invincible Versus could mean adding another piece to the fabric of the Invincible/Kirkman universe itself. Do you have any suggestions, any ideas at all, any concepts for more original characters that could be added to Invincible Versus? Be sure to come up with one and leave it in the comment section down below. I'll be sure to read it. Do you like my concepts, or perhaps do you want to suggest improvements to their designs or origin stories? Feel free to let me know in a comment. Moustache out.